Mr. Begley, members of the board, we do have 4 items for board discussion this evening. Our first item is in regard to some board policies. At this time, I'll turn it over to Mrs. Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Mr. Begley and members of the board, as promised, I have the remainder of the OSBA recently released policy updates due to House Bill 96 for discussion this evening. Hopefully this isn't the part that Mr. Begley was saying was boring, but
No, of course not.
I'll try and be brief here. So after tonight, I do anticipate giving you a small break from policy review, but I will say I was just told in a training that I was in with OSBA that this is an unprecedented time for them in regards to the number of educational policies that are being impacted by legislative changes. So no promises. I will probably be back with more. But let's go ahead and get started here. Letter A, policy IGD, co-curricular and extracurricular activities, and letter B, policy IGDJ, interscholastic athletics. Both of these are revised to include a new provision requiring districts to allow non-resident homeschooled students who have been verified as victims of harassment or bullying to participate in our interscholastic athletics and extracurricular activities. Letter C, policy DJC, bidding requirements, revised to reflect which contracts now require competitive bidding under revised code, along with some edits to clarify the individual involved in the bidding process. Letter D, policy FEF, construction contracts, bidding and awards. These reflect the revised bid guarantee options, which now allow a new electronic verification option for bids. Letter E, policy JHG, reporting child abuse and mandatory training. This is updated to reflect the changes to in-service training provisions, eliminating the language that the child sexual abuse education training must be presented by a law enforcement officer. We'll continue using Public School Works for this training, and we know that that will meet the legal requirement. Letter F, policy DLC, expense reimbursements, updated to reflect new guidance from the Ohio Ethics Commission, which now say that Ohio public officials are permitted to benefit from frequent flyer miles, credit card rewards, hotel points, or other rewards earned. Where this impacts us most is Kroger rewards points. We don't really have a lot of flights where frequent flyer miles would be included, but a member of our staff would be able to use their Kroger Plus card and have the benefits of that Kroger Plus card. So then letters, I'm going to kind of bulk these together because they all go together. Letters G through L, policy revisions are due to Ohio Administrative Code, OAC provisions for gifted students and student transportation. Letter G, policy IGBB, programs for gifted and talented students, is updated to reflect new gifted roles which clarify identification practices. They strengthen training requirements for teachers who provide gifted services and require districts to maintain an updated acceleration policy. Then letter H, policy EEA, student transportation services. I, policy EEACD, drug testing for district personnel required to hold a commercial driver's license. J, policy EEAD, non-routine use of a school buses and motor vans. Letter K, policy GBQ, criminal records check, and letter L, policy EEAC, school bus safety program, are all updated to meet OAC provisions regarding transportation rules, streamline some definitions, and expand the permitted use of alternative vehicles, and reinforce the safety procedures and driver trainings that are required. And last but not least, policy IGAE, health education, is updated to say that we will comply with any parental opt-out or opt-in provisions required not only by state law, but now also by federal law, which is no change in our current practices. But it's just noting that we will not only follow the state law in regards to opting in or out, but also the federal law. So pending any questions that you would have about these, you will be asked to approve these policies at the December 11th meeting.
All right, thank you. All right, our next item for discussion is in regard to some upcoming capital projects across the district. At this time, I'll turn it over to Mr. Perry.
Thank you, Mr. Smith, Mr. Begley, members of the board. I would like to take this opportunity to discuss the proposed capital projects for the 25-26 school year that we have identified to date. We have received pricing and intend to request board approval at the December 11th meeting. The first items are the HVAC controls for Crossroads and South Elementary. Replacing and/or upgrading these two schools will complete the district-wide program to update to one system. We continue to track our savings through these upgrades and are excited to capture the last two buildings. I will request that the board approve the pricing for both schools, but South will be scheduled and paid for in next year's budget. But this will allow us to lock in 2025 pricing. The second is roofing repairs and/or replacement at North Elementary. As we continue through our short-term and long-term roofing plan, North has made it to the top of the list of needs. 3 primary areas will be replaced, plus many identified smaller areas to be repaired. The third item is the renovation to the Fairfield Senior High School tennis courts. This project is extensive and includes the grinding down of the current blacktop, underlayment repairs, resurfacing, new fencing, and increased drainage around the sides and below the tennis courts themselves. This project is in-depth, but is definitely a long-term solution. The last project to report is the upgrade to the radio communication antenna and all radios for our transportation department. This upgrade will move the transportation department from a low analog frequency to a digital format. Recently, we have identified some intermittent issues that we would like to be resolved. All of these projects have been included in our current budget and is reflected in the 5-year financial forecast. Our goal is to secure pricing and allow sufficient time to schedule the work so it can be completed without disrupting the instructional calendar. At this time, I can answer any questions and appreciate your support.
Questions, concerns?
I don't have any questions or concerns, but I appreciate you looking through these. I actually had a conversation with our tennis coach at one point where I believe we were hosting an international or inter-meet at one point, but they weren't able to do it this year, and he was pretty upset that we weren't able to just because of the state of our tennis courts. And so I'm happy to see that we're going to be able to better the improvement for our students to be able to go back to great conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been in collaboration with Mr. Blankenship, so we've been talking about it for about a year, but it's definitely something that needs our immediate attention. Thank you.
All right, our next item for discussion is in regard to a professional development session for our Board of Education. In the past, when we have welcomed new board members, we have scheduled a professional development session with the Ohio School Boards Association. We've been fortunate over the years to have the same facilitator, Terry Morgan, join us, and the good news is that she will once again be our facilitator pending board approval this evening. You are being asked to approve that training session scheduled for December 18th. In addition to sitting board members, we will ask our 2 incoming board members who are with us this evening to join us as guests. As guests, they will be able to participate as the meeting is open to the public. Any questions about that?
I'm glad Terry's coming back.
Yeah.
I ran into her at the conference, and she was very excited to hear that we were inviting her back.
Yeah, we're equally as excited, definitely. All right, our last item for discussion this evening is really just to make an announcement about a few upcoming community engagement sessions that we are hosting. The title of these sessions is FCSD Finances, The Road Ahead. 2 sessions will be held. They will be identical to each other. The first one will be on Tuesday, December 2nd from 6 to 8 p.m. at Fairfield East Elementary. Second session will be held on Monday, December 8th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Crossroads Middle School. Purpose of these sessions is to educate, inform, and solicit feedback regarding the current and future financial status of the Fairfield City Schools. In the very near future, our district will have to make some important decisions, and we'd like to engage our community as we move forward in this process. And again, everyone is invited and encouraged to attend. Any questions about that?